What's good, people? Sim Football Critic here, taking a look at All Pro Football 2K8, and I'm going to explain to you in this video why I think the competition between Madden Football and 2K Football, once they return, will be closer than most people think. And I'm going to show you some things in this video that kind of, proves my opinion, like I said, my opinion. Now we're going to take a look at a few things here, and the question, you have to ask yourselves is 2K8 or 2K Football that much better than Madden 25? That's a question you have to ask yourselves. Now take a look at this play here. The first thing I'm showing here is Gale Sayers is not supposed to be able to break this tackle. Theoretically, in real football, this first guy should hold on to him. Second guy should come in and lay the boom. And that's what's supposed to happen. Now, before I go further, let me just say, I think where 2K Football definitely, in my opinion, does a better job than Madden is with replication. It's how they replicate the things on the field. The details, the amount of details that they get right, like signature animations and, the sidelines and the environment and things of that nature. And as you're taking a look here as well, look at the DB here. He turns his back, and he's also going to magically know when the receiver makes his cut. This is something that we see in Madden as well. Now understand, guys, the point of this video is, again, to say that the competition will be closer than you think. And like I said, I think what 2K did much better was replication. What they actually showed us on the field. The passing game, in my opinion, is a lot better with the maximum passing. And again, with the details. There's details in the game like the robust penalty system, things of that nature. And, even the sidelines, in my opinion, definitely is better than what Living Worlds is offering right now. But when you look at the core gameplay, it's not much different. Yes, I'm saying that. Now, you guys know I still think, again, 2K8 probably was the best playing and best looking football game that we had on that prior generation. I think it's things done in that game that still Madden hasn't caught up to. But I think Madden is actually catching up. And, they're definitely it's gonna be there pretty soon. I can confidently say that just, with the relationship that I have with EA Sports and things that I've been able to see, they're definitely gonna catch up. But if you look closely at the gameplay, there's not a lot of difference. Now, of course, this game was produced in 2007. Now, we all know that when 2K comes back, like I've said before, what I'm hearing is that they will be coming back very soon. Now, once they come back, definitely, we can agree it's going to be a better game than what we see here. But one thing that you have to take away from this video is the engine. Do you think that 2K is going to build from the engine that they currently have? Or are they going to build a brand new engine? Now, you have to keep in mind, if they build a brand new engine, it's going to take some time to catch up. It's not going to be this fantastic, mind-blowing game right out the gate. It may look good on the surface, but it's not going to blow you away if they do, if they use a new engine. Same could actually be said if they use this current engine. It'll be cleaned up, but it may not blow you away. And, you have to understand how game development works. We can only assume that they haven't had a lot of time to work on the new consoles. Look at NBA 2K14. For the most part, that's not a brand new game from Gen 3. It has eco motion, it has better graphics, and yes, the footwork and things like that are better. But you could easily say that it's not a completely different game. That's just my opinion. And the reason why I say it's not a completely different game, because some of the same flaws that Gen 3 had, 360 and PS3, you still see in the current gen versions. So that's why I'm saying, we still have to wait to see what 2K will produce. I think they will definitely produce a great football game. It's just that, like I said, you have to be honest with yourselves and just take a look. I'm showing you some of these clips here. What you're going to see in this clip, you're going to see DBs standing flat-footed. This is something that I complain about in Madden. You're going to see them standing flat-footed. And bear with me, guys, with the cameras here and the replay. I haven't played this game in a while, and I was getting all confused. But in a minute, I'll get it straight to where you can see what I'm talking about. There you go there. You can see, he's just standing there. Why isn't he playing the guy in the flat, or why isn't he moving towards his closest threat? I'm going to show you a couple of other guys that's going to go flat-footed as well. Again, this is stuff that you see in Madden as well. So I'm showing all of this, guys, just to say that, like I said, man, I think it's going to be a closer competition than a lot of people will give it credit for. A lot of people just think Madden is complete trash. I absolutely don't believe that. Definitely right now. Madden 25, it was a step in the right direction. Madden 15, from what I know of it, I think you all will agree that it's another step in the right direction. You're going to see some things in that game that I'm sure you're going to appreciate. But at the same time, it's very important for the competition to come. So when 2K gets back, then that's when we're going to see great games from both companies. Because like I've told you guys numerous times, it's not the developers. It's not the developers. These guys, the developers at EA, as far as the Madden team, these guys are for real. But they don't make the final decisions. They don't make the final decisions. You have people above them that decide what's priority and what's not. How much is this going to cost? How much time is this going to take? What's going to happen if we do this? What's going to happen if we do that? You have all of these people. But if you get another game out there that you're able to compete with, they don't have that leg to stand on. They have to push forward and give their best effort every year. Again, take a look at this clip. Some would say that's a psychic defender. How did he know when to turn? How did he know the receiver, was going into his break? You're going to see it here again. Again, guys, this is some of the same stuff that we complain about in Madden. We have to be fair and put everything on an even scale. But like I said, where 2K shines, 2K focuses on details. Again, things like the penalties and signature animations and behaviors, things of that nature. That's what 2K was starting to do with their games that Madden hasn't really done yet. Again, I will continue to say, I think we need a combination of ratings and abilities, even in Madden. I think this game here did it the best. It had numerical ratings, but it also had special abilities that only certain players could do. And that made it more realistic in terms of players playing like themselves. And when you start, getting into that aspect, that's when you can really separate players, and you can start allowing some of the NFL stars to play themselves out accordingly in the digital world. All right, now the last thing I will show you here, guys, is I love the awareness here by this guy, this DB. I thought I'd just throw this one in there. And as you can see, the trajectory on the ball, again, like I said, I think the passing game also is definitely something that shined well above what Madden has right now. They only have the lead pass, but you could do so much more with ball placement with 2K's football game. So, again, guys, this is going to be a very interesting competition. I hope the information that I'm getting from my source is absolutely correct. And 2K will be back, and they will be showing us something at E3. So I'm looking forward to that, as well as I'm looking forward to how you guys feel about this video. All right? Let me know what you think. Don't forget, guys, every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, Sim Standard Radio. If you want to give us a call, you can reach us at 914-338-0794.